Okay, y'all. Go follow my YouTube channel. This is my gaming YouTube channel, Solar Gaming. Solar Gaming. What does that account actually look like? Solar Gaming. Oh, the at is Solar Gaming, but instead of just one G, it has two G's. So it still has two R's. It's still spelled the same as you see up here at the top. It's spelled the exact same way as this, but just add a G at the end if you're looking for my account. But yeah, this is the collector's world background. Well, this is actually that demon realm in the owl house, but whatever. Is there something about love? So enjoy the background video being my game. Wait. Yeah, so I want to talk about that, y'all. Like two things. I learned. One is that I love, and two, love unconditionally, and two, all beings, and two would be wait, what was the two one? Hold up, y'all. Two. Oh shit, this video's not helping. Let me pause this TV I'm playing in the background. Give me like 2 seconds. I don't feel like pausing the video. I love everyone. Oh, and this realm opening up. Okay. So, this realm. Okay, I guess two. I can say one first because it goes into two. And then it'll go back to each other. Okay, so. No, I'm just gonna say this realm. Sorry on it. Sorry. This realm is opening up, right? We all understand, like, we are changing timelines and dimensions, right? And this realm is opening up more and more, right? This realm's energy frequency and the energy coming in is opening up, right? So we're allowed to play more. And I want to talk about real quick because this is gonna be a video diary, but I'm also posting it to my spirituality playlist. Um, maybe even my dark occultism playlist too. Um, let's see. So at first, when I realized that this realm was opening up, I was like angry and I was upset because I felt like, well, if I can't obtain my power hard in the natural way, and if I didn't earn it, then what's the point? I don't want y'all to help me if I can't do it myself. And that's the thing. So, Winter, Star, Starlight, what I voice Starboy Child. This is what I was saying to myself at the same time, because I was having this dialogue, and I was going through this for about like 8 days. I guess today would be the eighth day or the ninth day, but where I came to the conclusion, where like I was like, oh, because at first I was allowing myself to be angry because I was being angry. But then, like, literally the next day, the first time I had that thought, I was sitting with myself the next day and I was like, just talking to myself, having dialogue out loud and inside of my head, and just saying, like, yeah, um, it's opening up, but still, like, I'm not ready. I don't want them to, like, come yet till I'm ready because, like, it's kind of like that thing where you want to be presentable because everybody in your family is doing well except for you. And it's like, yeah, but wait, like, hold on, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And it's like, the house isn't clean. Like, I'm not living the way my family's living. Like, they're all rich millionaires and you just have a regular, humble house. So you trying to scheme and figure out how to get a big house real quick just until they leave so you can go back to being normal, right? Pretending, right? Um, yeah, so like I was doing that for the past few days, and it wasn't until like the recent few days where I was like, well, maybe it's not bad because like now you don't have to work as hard. But it wasn't until today where it really hit me. It was like it went beyond that. Let me put some chapstick on. No, it wasn't until recently where I was like, it went beyond that. It was like, no, like, remember Soul Star, Winter, Raven. You already did this so many times. You've already worked hard. You've already earned your power. You've already proven yourself in so many lifetimes within Earth and outside of Earth. You don't need to keep doing this anymore. Remember, you've existed. You do exist in those other timelines, right? So therefore, you've already worked for your power, even here. After healing your trauma and loving your trauma and becoming one with your trauma, right? To be whole again for those last 2 years and 4 months, you've already showed yourself that you genuinely care. And even after that, you continue to care and work on yourself, right? The microaggressions within the microaggressions, right? We all have microaggressions, right? Within our shadows. We have the shadows within the shadows, within the shadows, within the shadows. I like to call those the microaggressions within the microaggressions within the microaggressions, right? Um, because all that is hidden inside the shadow of the microaggressions, right? So I was like, no, you've already done that, and you already done this in this life too. It's just it's not going to look the same as those lifetimes because it's not supposed to. Because those lifetimes got you here. They worked you all the way up until here. Now, and you've already made because like we all, of course, we made like soul contracts or like we all decided to come to Earth when we did, and I chose to came into Earth around this time where we're having this awakening moment. This huge shift in consciousness, and I wanted to be here for that and to awaken during that as well because I've already awakened other lifetimes and I've already awakened in here too. And hold on. Um, so yeah, I'm like you've already done that, so why would you want to keep working hard? There's nothing to prove. You already understood. There's nothing to prove. There's nowhere to be but here, but now, but in the present, right? But in the pleasant. You already worked hard, and you literally worked hard in this life too to heal your shit. So why the fuck do you need to keep working hard? You don't. All you have to do now in this lifetime is to just allow. So that's one thing that I'm learning is to allow. And I think that's why I have a Saturn in Aries. Because Aries don't allow shit. You all know they're like Aries, the fire god, right? Always active, always gotta move. But what if that was the reason why I have Saturn in Aries was to just allow my Saturn to be at home with itself. My restrictions and limitations to be at home with itself. Like it's okay to be restricted and limited. It's okay. That within itself is also magical and holds profound truths as well. And that's beautiful, right? So I realized that, and I was like, today actually, that was today. Like I said, this has been over the course of like 8 to 9 days. Um, where like I felt like it was a bad thing. Like I started to feel resentment and enviness and just like kind of like a little bit of bitterness and hate because I'm like, no, like we don't need your help. No, we don't want your help. Like we'll figure it out ourselves. And it's like, so you've already figured it out. You've already been through what you need to go through. Stop it. Don't just allow yourself to go through a different experience. And I think that's because I was so used to even in this life, I was used to, you know, oppression and I didn't realize how deep the well went. And because having that mentality is definitely coming from trauma, old paradigms playing themselves out, right? And one thing I learned was like, if you just allow them to play out within yourself without trying to force it or control it, it will play itself out. It's kind of like when you meditate and you just allow the thoughts to go through you. Then eventually they just go through you, and then eventually you would just be having a blank mind. So yeah, I was like, oh, no, we don't see this. It's gonna be a little short. It's not gonna be an hour. Good. I'm almost done talking. Right. I say that, but no, for real. Um, but that's how I'm gonna play my world. Like we all just cosplay. Everybody looks so adorable here. I want to be a little elf, but a little elf wizard. I gotta remember how to play this game again. This game was actually so fun. Got my ass kicked at one part of the game. Ooh, girl, I'm not gonna lie, I was kicking my ass. It was this officer. That's what he was whipping my ass, girl. Please. I hate this game, but I love it. But oh shit, I'm not almost done because I forgot I gotta talk about um love and compassion. Shit, y'all didn't help. Oh my God, hold on, y'all. Let me eat a little fruit, no alcohol fruit. Let me say the rest for later in this video. Um, so love and compassion. So I really want to talk about. I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but I talk to the villains. I've established a connection with the villains. Okay, I don't know if it's established or not, but I set the intention out there. I was sitting in my own little version of meditation, right? Technically, it was deep prayer, to be technical. I was sitting in deep prayer and I was connecting with the archons and the villains, right? What we consider the villains, the evil, negative polarity reptilians, right? Because it's reptilians, all reptilians aren't like that, aren't villains, but with what people consider villains. I talked to them and I connected with them, where I did deep prayer with them, and just all dark and evil beings, right? And of course, as you saw my video of evilness and goodness, you see darkness and evil. Yes, it can be objective, but it's also super subjective as well. And that goes into what I said earlier, like y'all about gonna think I'm evil for what I'm about to say, because when it comes to love and compassion, because I guess to an extent I might be when it comes to that. I was telling the villains, they just not just the negative reptilians on this planet, but on any planet, anywhere. Um, the archons, the Nephilim, doesn't matter, like just evil people, right? Who've probably oppressed us and done bad things to us. I was telling them how much I love them. I was saying in deep prayer. And I was saying I love everybody equally. But I was also saying like I really love them and you deserve a space to just be free too authentically. And yes, some of them forgotten who they were, but others are operating and acting off of pure alignment. So we should honor both versions of that. Not all dark beings are traumatized. Yes, some are, and some probably forgotten as well. But that's only some. The other some is I died. Look at that. The other some is that they're choosing to be that because they purely align with that harmful, oppressive intent. It's like the Red Queen and the White Queen from Wonderland. The White Queen, she practiced peace, and love and stuff like that. And the Red Queen practiced oppression and hate. Both, and then in Wonderland, they um understand that, like they don't try to kill the Red Queen. They don't call her bad or evil. They just say what she is. Yeah, she's oppressive. She's aggressive. She will behead you if you don't do right. But so, and they understand that in Wonderland. And goodness and evilness isn't as separate and like you're wrong, you're right. It's not about that. Yes, they know this bitch is very hostile, so we're not going to like do shit to provoke her. But at the same time, they might not want to be under her rule either. So like they may align with the White Queen, or they may align with no queens and do their own little thing. And the Red Queen allows the goodness to live in that world just as much as the goodness allows the evilness to live in that world. You see what I'm saying? They're going to, of course, operate within their functions, within their nature. So the red might be more of an attacker, while the white might be more of a defender. But as you can see, if you watch the movie, the white can defend. I mean, the white can attack, and the red can defend. So it gets convoluted. So what I'm saying is, this applies to us in this universe, in this stream, right? Where you can say the red team, which is like the negative polarity archons and Nephilim and reptilians and all that stuff, right? Humans and all that. They're like the red queen, and everybody else is like the white queen. Of course, you got some that don't align with necessarily any of those, which is kind of like me, but there's some who don't even have that concept at all. Um, they all allow each other to live, right? Because you need a little bit of everything to make it perfect. And I like living in a world like that. You know what I mean? Because I don't see as anything as this or that. I just see it all as an experience. But just like the evil red polarity, they're an experience. With the dream with the dream. So they're no more part of the dream than anything else. And they're beautiful to me. I love the archives. I love the Nephilim. I love the evil polarity. I love that these are negative villains and they are here conquering. Like I respect that. I worship it. I love it. But I also love the heroes, or what we call heroes, like the Power Rangers, the Avengers, the fighters, the defenders, people who want to help and heal and protect people. Like both to me are equally loved and equally valued, and I value and honor and respect and worship and praise both sides because that's if we're the dream, dreaming itself in the dream, then why wouldn't you love every aspect of the dream? I am the dream, the dreamer, dream the dream. So I love it. And there's somebody else's dream. I respect none of that. Then that's their dream. I respect none of that. If you just look at it as all individuals having a shared collective dream within a dream, like me, myself talking to you, I'm within my own dream bubble, right? If we could just imagine a dream bubble being the size of a house or a bedroom, and that everybody has their own individual dream bubble, their own individual room or slash house, then you can understand that oh shit, and then within those individual dreams, it's just like I equate it to like a neighborhood or a bedroom. It's literally like, and it gets personal, super personal. So it starts off with your dream is just your bedroom. So your dream realm, your dream bubble is the size of your bedroom, and then when you start to like leave that bedroom, you start to see like, oh, there's a shared community dream bubble, the size of a neighborhood, right? And then once you leave the neighborhood, you see, oh, there's a collective dream bubble the size of a society. And then you leave or a town, and then you leave the town and you go to the size of a society. And then you leave the society and you go to the size of a nation, then a nation, a region. Or I don't know which one's bigger. But then you leave that and you see the entire planet is also in a bubble. So a dream bubble. So it's the biggest bubble within the big bubble, within the biggest bubble, within the small bubble, within the tiny bubble, within the minuscule bubble, within a quantum bubble. It just gets bigger, bigger, smaller, smaller. And when you go up and down, and you just look at it like that, it's like, oh, it's not that personal. It's just a shared collective experience that's been really personalized and individualized because this is an MMO RPG, customizable world wide internet video game. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it is, y'all. This is why I can, maybe because I'm also crazy, but I see everybody as family. The negative polarity, the people that harm and oppressed us, they're my family. And I called them that today. And I told them that I love them. And they can, like, if they want to, they can teach me stuff. If there's stuff that's private, I'll keep it private. You know what I'm saying? And I said that with everybody, not just them, but I open my my personal ecosystem. In my prayer, I open my personal ecosystem to all these beings. And as long as you're not, and I set boundaries, as long as you're not trying to put implants in me, or as long as you're not trying to, you know, harm me in any way, then yeah, I invite you in. And this goes to every faction, not just the positive, but the negative, not just the negative, the chaotic. As long as you're not trying to hurt me, or and put implants in me, then we're good. You know what I'm saying? Then we're good. Like, of course, like, because I know negative factions, because technically we all manipulate on some level. So I specifically didn't say like, oh, you can't manipulate me either. Well, of course, the manipulation it leads me to me hurting myself. Then yeah, you can't do that. But like, if they want to manipulate me, trick me into like, I don't know, stealing some candy, girl, I don't give a damn because I know who I am and I'm sovereign. So it's really not gonna like be an issue. But I still want to give them space to just be themselves as well. But see how crazy that sounds? Um, because that's what I was saying too. I want to be an all inclusive being. Like, yo, I just don't want to be this or that. I don't align with any faction. I align with every faction. And that can be evil because what they say, a friend to all, is a friend of none. But what if it's not about being a friend? It's about understanding that we're all the same person. We're all siblings. We're all family. We're all the dream experiencing itself, right? Hold on, let me eat my peaches. Mm.
Jokes and things to get people laughing and opening up the heart. So
Mm.
he has come through. We've asked him to come through as Warcall, and it's really
Mm.
interesting because the message is the same, but it's a lot more. Well, I would use the word serious. It's quite direct. It's succinct,
Mm.
and it's obvious.
The sink. Shut up, bitch.
Like we all are, product of their time and
My
so
God.
on. So yeah, it's good to clear that up actually, because I call him an aspect,
Yeah,
but
like,
actually he is Dwelko,
y'all,
but he's also all the other
I
incarnations
love them like family.
and beings he is all
And
come through in this little Zachariah
I have
package.
so many plans that I want to do for this world and every realm and every world. Because I don't want to get too much into it now, but that'll be a big project that I will be starting. Well, I'm already starting because I'm coming up with concepts and how I'm going to do stuff. But honestly, some of these projects will be for like a long while. As far as like being able to finally, okay, I can act on it now. But yeah, so how long is the episode? Yeah, it's about 30 minutes. I want to get off real soon. So yeah, to me, I love them. And I told them that, and like, you can teach me. I want to be taught. Teach me stuff. You can show me stuff. We can play. Like, even if you just want to forget that you're an evil villain, right? Let's say I'm communicating with an evil villain, and we just hanging out. And I told them like, oh, like we could just hang out. If y'all want to just chill, we can just chill. If you want to just forget, I want you to understand, like, when you around me, there are no expectations. So you can just forget your title for the moment or for however long you want to. When you're around me, just forget what you were, who you portrayed yourself to be, and just be natural, just be normal. Let's just chill. We ain't gotta put no labels on anything. We can just be beings experiencing themselves. We don't have to pretend to be an archetype. We don't have to try to fit into a role. No, just come on. And I apply that to every being. You know what I'm saying? There are no expectations here. And I connected and I did that deep prayer, y'all. So I'll let y'all know how my experiences go with him. Um, if I can share anything, because I know there's some information out there. Even with like, I also talked to the Galactic Federation too. I did a prayer to them too, and telling them like, I would love to know more. Like, I would love to share with the world more. And of course, there are some things that I know that from all higher realms, right? From all beings, because every being has their own individual privacy, and then there's like collective privacy and stuff like that, right? Galactic privacy, etc. I know there's some things I just know that I'm not supposed to be able to tell y'all either yet or at all because the level of consciousness is just not there yet, right? But I know there's some things that I can tell y'all, you know, that'll help every faction, or like that'll help the individual. It doesn't matter. So yeah, and I told them I'll do anything for y'all and with y'all, both sides, but I'm not in war. I'm not doing anything um that requires fighting or anything like that. But I'll help you all in ways like I can show y'all love. I can show y'all how to play. I can show you how to switch your archetypes. Maybe imaginary magic, stuff like that. Um, Maybe emotions, show you how to express your emotions in the most human way possible, where like you can feel rage without losing yourself.
I just got sick.
You can still love. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told y'all last video, I love so much I hate. I hate so much that I love. And even when it came to my own personal family, even when they don't, even though I had this resentment towards them and I hated them and I didn't like them or I just had this disconnect and disdain, I've noticed that ever since I started the flip off, and of course it's just allowing myself to alchemize and transform everybody that I don't like in this family, which was a lot of them. I started to like have love for them, right? Like because I'm losing that what you did to me aspect and I'm losing that expectation aspect and I'm like I am just letting them be them. I'm letting the experience play the experience itself out. So I'm starting to have feeling for because I was in a room in the kitchen the other day with a sibling that I really hated the most. And I noticed like because of course days before that, like weeks before that, months before that, I had started to slowly allow myself to just accept them for who they are, what they are. No judgment, no shame, no hate. And because we used to have good times when I did that. When I was younger, I used to have good times. Technically, I am younger. Hello. But, um, yeah, we used to have good times. But I remember there was one moment where it just really just, it's changed that dynamic permanently forever for a long time. And that was like 2 years ago. But
It's a lesson for me as well about really.
yeah, we're back now. I was going through a lot. I had a lot of anger, I had a lot of rage, resentment. Still, because like, of course, y'all, like I told y'all, we're growing. We're all family. We're all students. And I told these archons, these dark beings, and the positive beings, and the neutral beings, like we're all students. Like, oh shit, I gotta go back to my dream where I was in school, and real quick, hold up. But yeah, so I started having love for those people I didn't have love for again. And I started to be around them more because I was feeding off that my brother's energy without even realize he was drunk and he was just talking shit. But I was feeding off that energy and I didn't realize, oh shit. Because usually when I'm around him, it's a lot. I don't like being around him. For people in general. But I noticed that I'm able to like I guess on right now it's on autopilot. I don't know how to control it, but I was feeding off of it and it was giving me actual life. And I was like, huh, hmm,
I
hmm.
did.
But also back to my dream because I had a dream today. Well, one that I remember was a sleeping dream, I like to call them. I was having a sleeping dream, and which and technically it's an awake dream as well. But I call it a sleeping dream because I have to go to bed and close my eyes to go to sleep. To go in that type of dream versus this dream, I have to be awake and
Yeah.
look at the dad. Sense of that one dad, but the dad was that one episode where the dad was just coming everywhere. That was funny. That was one of my favorite episodes. I'm like, what is wrong? Like, what is that? Like, for like the first few parts of the show, I was like, what is that? I thought it was cow's milk. Like, why? I'm like, because one person can't produce all that. I'm like, but I guess you can. Some people got hyperspermia. That's a real thing. It's just kind of hot though. But it's like getting string of comes. Like, oh, like how can you produce that much? They probably gotta come every day. I gotta look up into that. Oh, what? I gotta look up. You are cordially invited to the annual blood orgy. I love how I said that pretty real. Yeah,
I,
but my dream, I was in the school and I was just looking for for a classroom and I was just like kind of struggling a little bit. But I remember when I was walking. Oh, well, one part where I ended up in the bathroom. It was weird. But there's one part where I was just walking down the hallway and I was starting to smile and laugh because something just hit my imaginary mind. And I saw this teacher. She's like, "Oh, do you need help? Are you good?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." She's like, "Do you need help or something like that?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No." And I just kept walking. She's like, "Okay, I was trying to help." And I was laughing. She activated because she saw me smiling and laughing, I guess. Because I was like talking to myself, like I was like, "Whoa." isn't it weird that some beings will never experience this part of the school? Because y'all know y'all might have some schools. Because I used to have schools like this where there was just like parts of the school that the lower kids just didn't go to. Like in elementary school, there was a certain hallway. I think it was like this. I think it was like the kindergarten hallway, and where myself never went down until a teacher told me, "Hey, I need you to go to this class and get this person for me, or drop this off at this teacher," and I would do that. And you would see like, oh shit, this is a different hallway that I don't go down. It's weird. It's like what? It's this whole different feeling. It's like a different portal, and it's like you see like different teachers and different students there. And or there be parts of the school where you just don't go towards. Period. Like you will never go to. Like think about it this way: you're in a school. There are some teachers you will just never interact with. Some classrooms you would just never go into. Right? Like you may have four Spanish classrooms, and that whole year you're only in that one Spanish classroom, and you don't ever change to go to another Spanish classroom, not for anything. And I was thinking that, and I started thinking about the higher realms and the lower realms, and I was like, oh shit. So because I said I want to be equal parts equalizer, a equal parts heart harmonizer, or equalizer, where like I like uh that goes to what I was thinking about. What I'm just about to say here, because I was thinking about there are some beings that will never experience love. That's what I was getting as a download. There are some beings that will never experience hate. Both are equally valid, right? Those are two extremes, but like obviously you got some beings that might never feel emotions, some beings that might never know what it's not to feel emotions. You have some beings that won't ever read certain stories of the cosmos, right? Like you know what I mean? Like you got some beings that will never know what it's like to be human, and some humans that will never know what it's like to be a non-human or a god or whatever. But that's why I was having ultimate compassion too and love, because like what if I can reflect that to every being, right? Like what if I can show the evil beings like who are full of hate, because not all of them are full of hate, but the ones that are full of hate, I can show them, excuse me, show them like you don't have to fit into the archetype one, and I can show them that like you can still hate and love because they are the same polarity, the same extremes, right? You can love so much, you can hate so much you love. And I can show the positive, some of the positive beings that only know love, how to hate and not shame that, right? Because they might get shamed because they have hate and vengeance and just despair. And I can show them how to harness that, not only just alchemize that into love, but also be fueled by despair and hate and all that, and not be shamed for it or feel that you're a bad being because of it. And I can show them like you can love so much you hate, and I can show the other ones you can hate so much you love, and show them like they're all the same thing. Because I told y'all this before on my channel, like I love I love the dream so much, so I want to hug it so hard that everything dies. But because I love it so much, I don't want everything to die. But because I love it so much, I want it to die. Does that make sense? It's crazy, ain't it? And I want to show them that you can feel that intent and there is no shame, because at the end of the day, it's all love. And it's all truth, honestly. And it's all authentic truth. And I was saying that out loud in my prayer as well. It was like, we're all family, dude. And I don't, and I can't not see them as that. Like, I don't want to see them as something other than me. I don't want to see them as they're not my family. I can't see them as something other than me. I can't see them as something that's not my family, because they're all my family all the time. I'm not gonna do what I'm gonna do, you know? About to be 35 minutes. Oh my god. I think I said everything. But yeah, I love them, y'all. I want to tell you, I love my family. And that includes the evil beings and the non evil beings. So if they're neutral, just chaotic, if they're good, doesn't matter. I love them all equally. And I told them that, and I called them my family. So yeah, I'll probably put this in my darker playlist and playlist too. But yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I love y'all so so much. Um, hope that's it. I don't feel like adding anymore. But yeah, that should be it, y'all. I love y'all so so much. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.